The size of these garbage dumps is truly unbelievable. Here are the top 10 biggest garbage dumps in the world. Number 10. The Apex Regional Dump, Las Vegas. The Apex Regional Landfill is a sprawling 2,200 acres and is the biggest landfill in the United States. The landfill receives upwards of 9,000 tons a day of municipal waste, but it is not at its capacity. It can actually accommodate 15,000 tons daily. The landfill opened in 1993 and is managed by Republic Services. The Apex Regional Landfill is expected to have a lifespan of 250 years with an overall capacity of 50 million tons. The landfill is put to good use, as a $35 million power plant was built to convert the landfill's methane gas into energy. The landfill currently powers the homes of more than 10,000 households in southern Nevada. Number 9. The Delhi Landfills, New Delhi, India. The Delhi Landfills is actually comprised of 4 garbage dumps: the Narela Bhawana, the Balswa, the Okla, and the Ghazipur. Together, they make up 500 acres of land and receive 9,000 to 9,200 tons of waste daily directly from the city of New Delhi. But the Delhi landfills are problematic, as all but one has been exhausted. The Balswa landfill was supposed to be closed when waste reached 72 feet high, but it hasn't been closed and the waste continues to pile up. Currently, the waste is towering at 134 feet, and the waste continues to accumulate at an unprecedented rate, causing a source of contention between the residents of New Delhi and the government. Number 8. The Lao Gong, Shanghai, China. At 830 acres, with waste piled 65 feet high, the Lao Gong garbage dump in Shanghai, China is not only the largest dump in Shanghai City, it's one of the biggest landfills in Asia. The Lao Gong receives up to 10,000 tons of waste daily, which is half the city's overall waste. However, not all is wasted in this landfill, as the methane gas produced by the dump has been converted to generate enough green energy to power over 100,000 homes. The dump is operated by Veolia, who is a French company intent on utilizing the power sources created by landfills. In fact, since 2014, Veolia successfully reduced the methane emissions by 25,800 tons, and they plan to continue this reduction into future years. Number 7. Malagrata, Rome, Italy. The Malagrata landfill got its start as an illegal dump in the 1970s. However, it was eventually legalized in 1984 and has gone on to become the largest municipal waste facility in Europe. The Malagrata covers 618 acres of land, and it currently receives between 4,500 and 5,000 tons of waste daily. And although the methane gas produced by the dump is used for electricity and for fuel, the dump itself has had, and continues to have, a very severe environmental impact on its surrounding land. The Malagrata has caused significant damage to the Galleria Valley. The dump has contaminated the air, and poisonous chemicals and gases like arsenic, mercury, ammonia, and nitrogen have seeped into the surrounding soil. Number 6. Puente Hill, Los Angeles. The Puente Hill dump was officially closed on October 31, 2013, but it continues to be one of the largest landfills in United States history. When the dump was in operation, it received more than 13,200 tons of garbage a day and accumulated more than 130 million tons of waste during its lifetime. The dump first opened in 1957 as the San Gabriel Valley Dump. The dump eventually grew to cover an area of 630 acres. In 2015, the city of Los Angeles began plans to convert the dump from a wasteland into a regional park. They hope that the park will be used for recreation in the future. Over the course of 2 years, they accepted clean fill dirt, and their plans to convert this once massive mound of trash into a recreational haven are still underway. Number 5. Suwon, Incheon, South Korea. The Suwon landfill in Incheon, South Korea is not just big, it's a beacon for sustainable waste management. The 570-acre landfill opened in 1992 and receives between 18,000 and 20,000 tons of waste daily from Seoul. But along with copious amounts of garbage, the landfill also has a water recycling and desalination facility. The water recycled from the dump is used to irrigate the surrounding land, and 700,000 trees have been planted at the dump. In fact, Suwon has become an educational place that hosts 50,000 students and children every year. These children tour the landfill to learn about climate change and sustainable waste management. Number 4. Deonar, Mumbai, India. The Deonar landfill in Mumbai, India has a plethora of problems. The landfill is superseding its capacity. The 326-acre dump has a capacity of 2,000 tons of waste per day. However, upwards of 5,000 tons are being deposited there daily. This has caused the garbage to pile up to almost 100 feet high. Furthermore, a cautionary report came out in 2016, revealing that the dump had 12.7 million tons of combustible methane gas. Nothing was done to alleviate the issue, and a fire broke out in 2016. The fire was massive, with smoke so thick it could be seen from NASA satellites. This fire should have been enough for the proper people to take preventative measures. However, the Deonar dump continues to accumulate waste at a rate it cannot handle. Number 3. Bordeauxponiente, Mexico City. The bordeauxponiente dump was once the biggest dump in Latin America. Located in Mexico City, the dump reached its lifetime capacity and closed in 2011. But when it was operational, the bordeauxponiente was receiving a staggering 12,000 to 15,000 tons of waste every day. The landfill came into fruition in 1985 and was only meant to be a dumping ground for the debris caused by the 1985 Mexico City earthquake. However, it quickly became a landfill, receiving 70 million tons of waste throughout its life. The massive dump was a sprawling 927 acres, and in 2014, the Mexican government decided to put the dormant dump to good use. They started developing plans to use the dump's methane gases to produce electric power. Number 2. Fresh Kills Landfill, New York. When the Fresh Kills landfill opened in 1948, it was supposed to be a temporary dump. However, its status quickly changed from temporary to permanent, and by 1955, the Fresh Kills landfill was the largest landfill in the world. The landfill was located in the borough of Staten Island and was named for the Fresh Kills estuary. The dump covered an unbelievable 2,200 acres, and it remained the largest dump in the world until it closed in 2001. The huge dump received an unprecedented amount of waste. At the dump's peak in 1986, it was receiving 29,000 tons of waste per day. And from 1991 until its close, the Fresh Kills landfill was the only landfill in New York to accept New York City's residential waste. As such, the waste piled up, measuring at one point 225 feet high. In fact, the waste piled up so high that the Fresh Kills landfill has been called one of the largest man-made structures on Earth. The Fresh Kills landfill saw 150 million tons of waste over its lifetime. And although the dump has been closed for over a decade now, the land was reclaimed in 2008. The dump is currently undergoing a 30-year site redevelopment, which will turn this record-holding landfill into the future Fresh Kills Park. Number 1. Pacific Garbage Patch, Pacific Ocean. Floating out in the Pacific Ocean, covering an estimated area of 5,800,000 square miles, is the world's biggest dump. The Pacific Garbage Patch is comprised of two large masses of trash, the western and the eastern. The western is between Hawaii and California, and the western is west of Hawaii and east of Japan. The dump is home to trash from all over the world, with some plastic being over 50 years old. There are remnants of plastic lighters, toothbrushes, water bottles, pens, baby bottles, cell phones, plastic bags, wood pulp, chemical sludge, and other various debris. In fact, scientists estimate that there are more than 1.8 trillion pieces of garbage floating out there in the ocean. And the Pacific Garbage Patch continues to grow and accumulate trash at an alarming rate. So what exactly is happening? Well, there is an ocean current called the Subtropical Convergence Zone. It is 6,000 miles long and connects the two patches. Garbage is essentially being trapped in the currents of the North Pacific, where it has gathered together to create the biggest dump that the world has ever seen. Humans, as a species, are producing 100 million tons of plastic every year. 10% of this plastic is ending up in the ocean, and most of it is gathering in the Pacific Garbage Patch. Needless to say, the garbage patch is causing catastrophic effects on marine life, with sea turtles and the Lycaon albatross being amongst the worst affected. And as the patch continues to grow, we can only guess what the future consequences will be. The Pacific Garbage Patch is clearly the uncontested biggest dump in the world, which is why it has earned the top spot on this list of top 10 biggest garbage dumps.